I know you must have wondered severally why we may have some people who are expert in teaching particular languages. We may have professors in speaking particular in teaching particular languages, but yet these people can't really speak that language fluently and proficiently. That is very possible. In language, let me say in psycholinguistics, there's what we call linguistic competence and linguistic performance, according to Avram Noam Chomsky. You know, linguistic competence has to do with you knowing a language. Someone may know a language but still can't speak that language very fluently. So then we have what we call linguistic performance. That is when you put that language into practice. When you start speaking that language, that is what we call performance of language. But linguistic competence has to do with knowing the language. You may stay in a place where you get some knowledge about a particular language, and you know that language very well. When it's speaking, you understand. When it's speaking, you hear it very well. Then you can actually comprehend the words and the vocabularies of that language. But speaking is another problem entirely. That is what we call performance. Someone may know a language but can't actually speak that language. So that is a psycholinguistic factor, psycholinguistic concept, which has to do with some mental factors, some psychological factors. So, and that is it. So it's quite different. You can have someone who is a Yoruba who goes to Igbo land, for example. So that person may know that language, may memorize some vocabularies of Igbo, but still can't speak that Igbo because there is zero capacity of performance in that person. Do you understand? And first thing that happens to a learner of a language is knowing that language. By knowing the rudiments, the syntax, the phonology, the grammatical aspect of that language. But the real problem is speaking that language, putting it to practice, putting it to performance. Speaking it very fluently is another thing entirely. That would be gained through some sociolinguistic factors and sociolinguistic tools. So, but knowing a language may happen without speaking that language. But people don't really know the difference between the two, because in some bilingual settings like Nigeria, Arabic, for example, is not our language, it's not our mother tongue. You understand? So someone may know Arabic because that person is a learner of Arabic, because there's difference between what we call acquisition